Isn't that interesting? And this mic, I don't like it.
I unmuted on time this time, but I didn't have my headphones in.
Well, it didn't matter because I wasn't. My mic wasn't even plugged in. So we are live on YouTube and we are live on the page.
Nice.
I did send the code, the Zoom code over to Bob, so Bob might hop on. He hasn't seen it yet. So
okay, cool.
So anyways, how's it been going, Robin?
It's going. I can't complain. Been working like crazy last week. I'm tired.
Working at work?
Work, home. Yeah. Yep. So I thought the topic today was fitting because it was so many times just this week that I didn't want to do certain things. So
yeah, I've been car shopping, so it's like doing taxes once you get in that mood. And
right.
I don't nothing. So been working on state a little bit and talking to Christy about what do I need to do to hop out of this rut. And she said, don't forget, you got your state, you got, hop back in there and get going. So basically just do it, like you said earlier. All right. So my name is Jim Hall. This is Robin Williams, and we come here every Thursday night. Usually Louie's here with us, but Louie's on vacation. I've been missing Louie, not getting his messages every day and stuff. My background a little bit is I've been doing computers for a really long time, actually since I was very little, so 35 or 40 years, I've been working on a computer. And somewhere along the lines, I found out that it's a little easier to make money with a computer than it is to work hard, right? Then I still was a big dummy and joined the military, and took some of my Robin's in the military still. Took some of my computer experience with me into the military, and I did do some special projects for them, build some websites and stuff like that. But I was a computer guy there. I was a helicopter mechanic in the military. I did that for a couple of years and traveled the world. Like that's what everybody gets in the military for, right? To travel the world. Of course, I joined a couple of days before 9/11 happened, so my world travel was a little bit strange. So in the middle of basic, they said, yeah, once you learn the M16, then you're off to war. And I was like, wait, I didn't join to go to the war, There was nothing going on. I'm like, no, I just want to chillax 20 years and be in and out, So did my time, got out. That's really it, I mean, I've done a lot of computer work. I've made a lot of money on the internet, and I've learned a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of skills because of it. That's one thing. A lot of times when people ask me, how much money did I make? I don't really like to disclose how much money I've made because it's everybody's different there. So is it enough for you? Is it way too much for you? Is it unbelievable for you? A lot of people would not believe how much money I've made on the internet. But I like to talk about the skills that I've learned and that I've learned to build web pages, and I've learned to blog, and I've learned to do videos, and I've learned to Zoom. I learned all kinds of stuff. Whether you make any money or not, you learn these kinds of skills, and these skills. The skills inside the 30-minute workday will even go with you, even if, like I said, I use my skills from all of this in the military. I use these skills in everyday life. I mean, they helped me with every job I've ever got. I went in and when I interviewed, they gave me a little Excel test, and because I had a lot of Excel training just from setting up businesses and stuff. I'm a whiz on Excel, and they're like, man, we need somebody like you to show the staff how to use Excel, So that's the kinds of things that I like to mention, that these skills that you kind of are forced to learn because you got to put on 16 different hats, right, to do your home-based business. You don't want to say that
about the military. It's the same way sometimes.
Yeah, military is the same way, right? You got to learn all kinds of crazy stuff. But in home business too, I mean, you got to learn to be your own accountant. You got to learn to be all kinds of different things. So having the different skills that you learn along the way helps you in your jobs along the way too. It's a long introduction, I know. just kind of throwing some info out there that people can wrap their heads around, because I mean, a lot of people come in here to make money, and making money is great. We're making great money with this. We've made a lot of, like I said, a lot of money on the internet, but I've learned a lot of things on the internet as well. So that's me. My name's Jim. And Robin, if you want to take it over and talk for a few minutes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Robin Williams. I'm in the military, okay? I've been in the military for about over 18 and a half years now. So I honestly couldn't tell you the exact moment that I became interested in learning how to make money online and everything like that. But I did, I was in the military for at least a year, I guess, before interest sparked in me. I guess I probably saw the idea online somewhere. And so I want to say I tried all different types of things with offline, online marketing, failed miserably, have a lot of crazy stories that I went through. But overall, basically, I've been in the military for 18 years, been doing different types of jobs. Like Jim said, it gets crazy. Like I can name a whole bunch of stuff that I do. My trade basically is administration, but that also entails dealing with websites sometimes, not as in depth as Jim, but dealing with websites, security management, travel, government travel, all different type of stuff, setting up video teleconferences for folks. And it just gets crazy in the military. And like he said, like sometimes like the duties go back and forth, right? So like some of the things that I learned online by building my business, I get to take that to my job and vice versa, you know? So that's a cool thing. But overall in my internet marketing career, I feel like I had good success in the sense of learning a lot of different things that you can do online. So the majority of the beginning of my internet career was, I don't want to say it sucked because it's a learning experience, but it sucked, right? You know, you didn't, make any money. You didn't know what to do. You didn't have a mentor. You didn't have anybody to show you anything like this. You didn't have a system, right? I think I mentioned before on one of the calls, I lost like my first $500 trying to do Google ads or whatever it was called back then. And looking back at it now, it seems so silly that I even attempted to do that because I didn't prepare. I didn't, make sure my links were good and stuff like that. And, I'm trying to get results, right? I'm trying to get results, like where are the results? And I basically wasn't set up for that. And so I went through, more years of struggling and finally had some success. I want to say back in 2013-ish. Yeah, 2013 is when I started learning different strategies. Like I literally, if you know about YouTube strategies, Instagram, people want to know how to make money on all these different sites. I spent most of my career not even knowing what a strategy was, right? Just like, putting my links out in places and hoping, like literally hoping that somebody could join, but not putting in the work. And so I got my first success online using not YouTube, Instagram. That was my first little baby online. So I love Instagram marketing and basically all the different tools it took to get things rolling in Instagram as far as leads and sales. And then from there, I just still wanted more. Like I wasn't booming in success and things like that. So from there, I learned all different types of things from blogging, some YouTube and things like that. And over the time, I just picked up a lot of little different strategies. If you're on my list, you'll probably get some little strategies sent to your inbox here and there, and that's stuff that I learned over time that actually works. So, but now I'm here with the 30-minute workday, and I really love the fact that it. We'll probably speak on it during the call, but it really takes a lot of that other stuff. It's hands off on a lot of areas where I used to have to, roll up my sleeve and dig and to get some marketing done. But overall, I'm here. I'm excited about the 30-minute workday. The Home Business Academy and all that all of the other tools inside of the system. And I don't know, I'm just here to have fun. Hopefully have fun tonight talking about things that we don't want to do. I don't see how we're going to do that.
That's funny. Yeah, and I think that's a good point because yesterday, even when we were out car shopping, I got an order got a sale while I was out. And I told my daughter, I said, man, I hope I get one today just so that I can brag about it a little bit, with her. Cause I'm out car shopping and got a sale come in. So I was like, look at that, got a sale. Didn't have to do nothing. I mean,
Right.
it just works on autopilot, so
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. It's definitely one of the things that I really like about the 30-minute workday. I was talking to Amy earlier today, and she was asking me what I was doing as far as advertising and stuff. And I told her, I said, really, all I'm doing is the paid traffic. I mean, I'm not doing anything else. I do have a Facebook group that's moderately successful, but I learned that through the same system. So I mean, it's crazy. It's so much simpler. Like you said, from years ago, you'd have to do 27 different ways just to get a lead, just to get somebody to see your page. People think that you just put your website out there and all of a sudden you're rich, but it don't quite work that way. So Bob just messaged me. I think he might be coming on in a moment. So we'll chit chat a little bit more. If there's anybody here and you want to leave a message down below, I see somebody left a message. I don't quite know what it means. She said, you said no walk though, LOL. She said, walk though, knacked. I don't know. It looked like she's on my list. It was a couple hours ago today, but I didn't send anything out that she would have gone there. There's Jennifer Molina. Is Jennifer on your list? Any idea?
Yep. What's up, Jen?
So Jennifer's here. Jennifer, if you've got any comments, anything you want to talk about, we're going to talk mostly today about, how to just stay with it, even though like you don't really want to do it today. Today I took a little nap because I did get kind of bottomed out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cash out for a little bit, and I think that's okay. I think that's one strategy actually. I think if you need to take a break, that's something you can do. Now, obviously, maybe you can't do that every single day, but with this business, what's really cool is you can just kind of take a break if you want. You can take a day away and go car shopping. And we're going to go again tomorrow, and I'm just going to put my stuff on autopilot. I'll probably write an email after this is done and send out my email. And because I can schedule it to go out when I want to, so that's something else that you can do to kind of foresee, it's kind of like you can go on vacation, right? You can set up some stuff, send it out. Bob, how's it going?
What's up, Bob? You're
on mute, just so you know.
Good. I'm getting like Robin. I'm getting late.
Hey.
Now, I sent you a pretty late notice and then just popped the thing in your chat, so that's all good.
I keep thinking it's 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. So
yeah. I thought about changing it to 9, but Louie's not a very late guy, so
I'm not a very late person either.
8
well,
o'clock.
I'm late, but
so anyways, guys, this is Bob. Bob is our tractor guy that I put in my list. Bob owns a big farm and does a lot of work on the farm, and he's still building a list, and I think that's what's really super cool too. And like Robin said, she's got a full-time job. I don't. This is all I do. I work from home every day. So I do a few more things than some people do, but like Bob, he gets leads brought to his webpage and he sends out an email, and that's really all he's got time for, So we strategize a little bit, and we try to figure out how to get better results. We'll pop on the call and I'll check out his stuff and show him, maybe you should slide this over here or something. Bob's a good guy. Bob, go ahead and take it away for a minute. Tell your story a little bit. And,
thanks for letting me come on, Jim. And it's because of Jim that I'm on here. I will say that. And Louie. And Louie's not here, I see, but Louie got me with Jim because I'm not a tech guy, and I imagine a lot of you guys out there is not tech. I come from a small rural area in central Indiana, always on the farm. Now we farm over 5,000 acres, and it keeps me busy. It's like Jim said. And but me and my wife Cindy, we never had no kids. Well, she's an engineer with a big power company, and she makes good money. I do good and everything, but we're getting close to retirement age, and I've been online for about 20 years, just dibbling and dabbling and trying to figure the things out. I've known Nick Bramble for probably 12 years. Been in and out of things with him, made a little money with him, and I kind of dabbled in the online market, which I love. I mean, I've worked outside all my life in the cold and in the heat and everything, so I enjoy coming in. It's kind of like my solitary, just getting on the computer and doing some things, and stuff. And so, Louis got me with Jim, and that was a big help. It was a real big help because I didn't know anything about tech. I knew a few things, marketing, this and that, get some leads and stuff like that, but I didn't know how to really,
funnel and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about funnels. And to tell you the truth, Robin, I still really don't, because I've not been in the HBA. I've went through it with Jim, and I've also went through it kind of myself, dabbling around. I just don't have a lot of time. I do a lot of 10, 12-hour, 14-hour days on the farm, and slowing down right now because we're in the summertime. So I'm getting where, like, this today was about my last day of doing a lot of big hours. But anyway, I want to learn the funnel. And the only way to learn a funnel is go over there and do it and make some mistakes. I make mistakes. And Jim, he's real quick to correct them for me, which I really love that, and stuff. And I learned I'm a visual person, not highly educated. That's one thing I want to tell people. You don't have to be here. You don't have to have a lot of education to make money online. I've been in it. I was looking here. I got in it with Nick. I got directly involved with Nick because I've been on his list. I've talked to Nick a few times on the phone, from Michigan stuff. And so I got involved with him because he was always trustworthy. He was always trustworthy. He's always ethical. A God-fearing man, I mean, you guys can, have your own opinion, but we go to church. I always have, and stuff. So we disconnected. And kind of like me and Jim, when I got on the phone with him, got on Zoom with him, we connected. I mean, it was really good. I consider him a real good friend, and I've only known him probably a month now, 3 or 4 weeks. But he's helped me so much to learn some of the techniques and stuff and get response. And I was an AWeber, man, in the old days and stuff. And I still am. I got a list over there, but not actively, and stuff. And he showed me how to actively go in there and do these emails just like Nick talks about. And the ebook, I tell people that's on the line right now, if there's people on here, you got to read that ebook. I'm going through it my second time now. I just started my second time. The ebook is probably one of the best books I've really read that tells you the principles, the just everyday principles that if you read it, you're thinking, why didn't I think of that? I mean, that's what you need to be doing, to connect with your people, and help. I told Jim the one day I was on the Zoom, I'd like to get like him where I could help people because I've got a God-given good heart, and I like helping people, just anywhere, I'll help them and not even charge them stuff for what I do, outside a business like this. And I think that comes from my very poor background, living on a farm. We was very poor. We lived there. There was 8 of us in the house, and Dad worked 2 jobs. Mom stayed at home. Good God, she couldn't go nowhere. There's 8 of us, and so she was always running around taking care of us. But I thank God for them every day. They're gone now, but I appreciate what they did for me and taught me standards, morals, values, ethics, and everything that in between, and stuff. So. This online business to me has probably been one of the best things for me. The 30-minute workday has been one of the best things for me to really come in, relax, and just go through my action steps. And Jim talked about it, the action steps. Once you get in this, they're easy. You just got to go step by step. And I really want to stress that this is a step-by-step program. Please don't skip around. I tried that a little bit myself. and I thought, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to get ahead of myself because I get to thinking, there's a lot in here. I'm never going to get through this. But I heard Louis say it last week. Take your time. It's not a race. It's a marathon. It's something that you can build and have for the rest of your life if you just take your time and do the things right. You know, like you're teaching, Jim. I mean, you taught me some things that is ethically and principle based right. I mean, you just got to do it, you know, and connect with the people. I used to hide behind the computer. You used to hide. I think we all had that at one time. We was afraid to put ourselves out there. And I don't care who you are. I mean, I farm. I'm just a farm boy. I don't have no skills, just farming and stuff. But I like to help people. And Jim's helping me, you know, do that and set me up with some structure and stuff like that, and some training and stuff like that, which we haven't been able to do too much more the last couple of weeks because I've not been around. But anyway, you know, from where I come from, I graduated high school. That's it. I didn't have no training. We didn't have the money to go to college. Okay. So that was one of those things that my dad taught us, that if you wanted to have something, you got to get out there and work for it yourself. You can't stay around and let the government try to take care of you, let your brother take care of you, and let everybody take care of you. So we was all entwined with that in us, you know. And I worked hard. I owned a construction business for 30 years and had 70 people working for me at one time, and had a $5 million a year business. The reason I got out of that, and I shared it with Jim, is too stressful. I was taking care of their wives, their kids. And I mean, when you got employees, you take care of everybody. You know, they feel like that you're their dad and you're their mom. This thing here, and I done good in business, don't get me wrong. It just, it was tearing me down 17, 18 hours a day and 7 days a week. And this, to me, is by far after you learn the principles and after you learn the techniques, it's far the easiest and the best program and the best thing to do for yourself. Just one person. My wife's in the other room. I'm just in my office and air conditioned. Thank God, you know, because I'm out in the heat all the time. But I love it. I mean, it's just something that I can do that I enjoy. A lot of people's got, my hobbies are hunting, fishing, camping, stuff like that. I got hobbies just like everybody else. But one of my biggest hobbies anymore is just coming in here and relaxing. This does relax me. And like I said, I see on the chat all the time, I talk to Jim about it. Well, I don't know where's this at. And I think to myself, and I don't want to get on there because I don't want to be like that to people, but it's just, I'm thinking, guys, gals, it's a step-by-step program. There's buttons in there, them green buttons, you know, next step, you know, yes, right? Next step and everything. And I will tell everybody right now, I was probably like a lot of you guys out there right now, I was starting to skip around, and I caught myself within about an hour, and because I didn't know what was going on, I thought, well, what was I supposed to, well, I missed a step. So I go back to the step and I read a little bit farther, and guess what? If I would have read a little bit farther and finished the step, it would have been explanatory, you know, it's explained. It explains right there what you got to do. Then push the button and go to the next step. When I get over the next step, I thought, okay, now I see what they're talking about, what Nick's on. You know, Jim, we talked about it. It's just a step by step. But I don't want to go on and on because I can. But
I think that's good. And I want to kind of recap for you a little bit there. Basically, what you're saying is you work anywhere from 12 hours or more, and you still run an internet business. Yeah. And you're making sales, right? I mean, I see you on the sales.
I made 2 sales yesterday.
2 sales yesterday.
And also, I just wanted to say, if I see people, how long is it going to take to get money? How long is it going to? Well, I did the steps. I've not been in this less than 30 or 60 days right now. Yeah, less than 60 days right now. And I have made a little over $1,100, $1,200. And guys, that a lot of times it just depends on who you are. That may not be a lot of money to people. They say, man, you could get rich online. You can. But it's going to take you some time to build up your contacts and build up your people and everything, and the trust. Nick talks about it, you know, Jim, in the book, Robin. He talks about it in there. Build that trust with the people that you got coming in. Don't act like you're selling to them all the time. You know, I told, you know, Jim's read a couple of my deals and stuff. I had him edit and stuff, and Jim's pretty good at editing. emails. I can tell you that. He's quick. I can't even see what I thought, man, how'd you do that? How'd you get to that? You know, I mean, I made something wrong, you know, and he changed it. And I said, hey, that's pretty good. And I edited it myself, you know, but it's always good to let somebody look at it too. I think it's always good to let somebody look at your email before you send it. I let my wife do a lot of it because she's engineering and she's into that, you know, blinder stage, you know, an engineer looks black and white, you don't got blinders on. So I let her look at it. She's good at it. She sees it from a different perspective than I do, you know. And I tell a story, my farm story. I got one getting ready to go out tonight about me working all day on the farm. And like Jim said, having the time to come in. And I basically, guys, I've only got an hour to spend today on this because I got some other things going on with Cindy. But I'm going to write my email. I can do it in about 15 minutes. And then Jim showed me how. I really appreciate that. Showed me on the perfect timing, you know, to get into technical and stuff, everything. But whenever I wrote an email, I just send it immediately, you know, immediately. Well, there's a technique in there you can do by perfect timing that people's open their emails, you know, at certain times. Robin opens hers at, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning. I open mine at 9 o'clock. And the system picks that out. I didn't know that, Jim. So I appreciate that's a little technique, a little tidbit you can learn off of people and everything. But I'll tell you what, guys, with what I do, if I'm working 12 to 16 hours now, coming up in the fall, we'll put 18 hours, 19 hours in a day to get the crops in and stuff so we can beat the weather. But I still can spend 30 minutes and write an email, which it takes me about 15, 20, and get it ready to go and push that button. And I know it's going to go out, and then I leave. So I do appreciate you, Jim, you know, you and Louie and Robin. I appreciate all you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all you guys.
That's total inspiration right there.
It's pretty amazing. And you know, 2 sales, right? 2 sales doesn't sound like really that big a deal, but 2 sales, they say that our average customer value is $500. So you're talking about you made $1,000 yesterday off of 2 sales.
Yep.
So it only takes 8 active people in our business to make $1,000 a month residual income. You know, so 2 sales in a day, that's big money. You know, for just setting up a system and sending something out and going about your day. You didn't call anybody, right?
Nope.
You didn't train anybody. Now I do a little more on the training side, like you say. I like to help people. I have more time, so I do a little more on the training. I get with a bunch of my people. I get with a bunch of people in general just because I like training. I tend to learn better by training, you know. So it's a strange way to go about learning, but I learn from training people. So I like to train people. It makes me see new things. It makes me see people do other things different ways, and I pick up on their different ways of doing stuff. So that's part of why I like it. And I help all kinds of people. I help people like Bob. Bob's not on my team. Robin's not on my team. We've done stuff together. We pop on something like this, and you know, having 3 people talking, we all get a little different concept going on here, and this makes it a whole lot funner than me trying to come on here by myself and explain stuff for an hour every week, you know. So even this is something really cool that we've learned. Like Bob said, you know, he made some money, but he's learned a lot of skills. That's what I talked about earlier on in this call, was learned a lot of skills on the way that go to all kinds of different parts of life, you know. Bob, what our topic tonight is who's Sarah Lee? Hey, Sarah. Sarah, you're on mute. I don't know if you're in the right place. I know I got a bunch of stuff out there that maybe you're.
I just seen that. That's my sister, and I sent her that link, Jim. So sorry about that.
Hey, Sarah.
No, that's fine. If she wants to hop on.
Yeah, I just now seen
there.
She's not got very good internet. She lives way out in the country on her old farm, and I got her in it, and I'm trying to help her. You know, I'm trying to do like Jim's helped me. You know, so I gave her that link, but I forgot she wasn't supposed to be on that link.
No, that's fine. Doesn't make any difference. And once in a while, I send it out to a bunch of people. So, you know, give a chance for somebody to just pop on and say hello. And if they got a story, tell a little story. If not, we'll give a little value to her. So good to have you here, Sarah. You are on mute. If you want to unmute, you're welcome to. And so what we're talking about
Oh,
tonight,
thank you.
you're welcome. We're talking about what makes you at the end of your day, Bob, come back and do your business. Basically, we're talking about how do you stay out of a rut, I guess is what our real topic is tonight, is how do you keep from just climbing up in a ball and going to bed, you know?
Well, I think for me, it's my background, wanting to have more, you know, when we retire, because of where I grew up. And I didn't grow up in a bad family. I'm just saying we grew up poor. You know, we probably like 80% of the American public now, or maybe more now with the way things are going, you know. So I think it's just my background and the drive. I've owned businesses before, you know. You don't have to own businesses to do something like this. I really like that because I've got a couple people that I've got now on my team that I'm talking to. One's a housewife, you know, and she's staying home with kids. She just wants to, you know, make some extra money to stay home with the kids. So, and she knows she's been on some online stuff, so she likes a book so far. But basically, to me, what drives me is back. I think back last week on the call is the goals that I've set, and a few goals that I've set, you know, and stuff. One was to, you know, help with Cindy, my wife and I's income as we get older. You know, to help the church, to help our church, to help some family members, you know, and stuff, and just to do some things helpful, because I like to help people, you know, and stuff. I always like to say, you know, when I give a $20 bill or a $10 bill to somebody out on the street and everything, I've done I don't know how many times, and they say thank you. I like to think about that as, you know, where I come from. I like to get back to the less fortunate, because I was one of the less fortunate at one time. So I basically it drives me to give back. I guess that's what I want to put in people's heads tonight, is just give back. If you learn something, or if you get something, or if you do something, or if you make money on this, give back. Because I mean, Jim has helped me tremendous, and he knows it. And I'm be coming to Florida next year, and I'm going to give back. We're going out to dinner, and Christy and us, and I'm going to give back, because I think that's important to our psychology of ourselves, our mindsets. I do believe that this is another thing I really like about this business online. You can build something online with like-minded people. I've been in so many things that, you know, if you push on your family or your friends or, you know, everybody around, it's just, they're not like-minded like you. We're all different. You got to find the like-minded people, like all of us coming together in a community like this, because we're wanting something different, or we wouldn't started our business, and we wouldn't be doing this, and we wouldn't be doing online. Online people is a lot different to me, like-minded, than the farm people that I work with out in the farm and stuff. You know, they're entwined to the farm. You know, I am too, but I got a lot more drive, and it's just giving back, Jim. That's the easiest answer I can give you.
I like that you mentioned that about friends and stuff, because, you know, I've been doing this with HVA since November, this particular company. And then, of course, 30-Minute Workday, we picked up a little more recent than that. And I have one friend that's in this business, and he actually just signed up a couple of days ago. And the only reason he even signed up is because about almost 2 years ago, we started building some websites and stuff together for his own kind of stuff. So I didn't even chase him down or anything like that. So so the reason I'm saying that is, up until just a couple of days ago, I didn't have one single person in my business that I knew, because the way this system works is we have leads that we can get. And I talked about that last week, about how being able to just talk to anybody about this, you can really develop a lot better. You don't have that need. You lose that need of just chasing people around. And that's part of what brings me back to this. That's part of what keeps me going is I know that I'm helping people that actually want to do this. They send me a message and say, hey, I'm stuck at this point. And if they don't send me a message, I'm not calling them to find out where they're at and where they're stuck. If they're not interested, I got enough people to work with that are interested, so it gives me a good chance to work with the people that want the help. And like Bob, I don't mind jumping on with Bob. We have a good time. We share stories. Um, Hopefully he don't write emails quite as long as he talks. He's quite a talker, but
I do write them a little bit long, Jim. I got to have you show me how to short. I've been reading some of your emails, so I'm starting to shorten the paragraphs of it.
Yeah. But I knew that Bob would bring a lot of life to this call tonight, so I was glad that he actually was able to pop on here.
Yeah,
Robin, what's one of your things that you kind of use to get back on track on a daily?
Woo. One of them. Well, I think using your why, whatever your why is very strong. I know for me in particular, I've been in this, like I said, I've been in this for a while. And one of the things I struggle with was consistency. And after, and I'm saying consistency, these braces be messing me up sometimes. After I joined the 30-minute workday, it was kind of like you 3 steps and 3 steps a day you got to take care of. Pretty much I have to show up, I have to read something, I have to email folks, you know what I mean? I have to get my traffic every week. It's very simple. And if I can't be consistent with that, then I probably don't need to be in business, right? So it's very simple. And I know people still struggle with just doing that because I struggled this past week, with just doing that. And so it's not like, if you really are struggling right now with doing that, it's not like you quit your business, but basically it gets no simpler than this when it comes to building a business. And I wanted to make a commitment to myself to stay on it, email daily, for a while. And I think the first week or two that I was doing this, I was not consistent. And I was like, by the time I got finished everything that we were supposed to do, I was like, oh, hell no, I need to be consistent in this, this is, nothing. I could do this. I could do this 60, 90 days or whatnot, and then I'll just keep going from there. If I could do it 90 days, I could do it 90 more days, and just keep going. And literally this week I had tears in my eyes because I was so freaking tired. Like I just literally outdid myself with stuff this week, from, going to work to trading to business to everything. Okay. And I got to the point where I got really tired. I probably ate some darn carbs or something for dinner. But I got extremely, tears were coming down my eyes. Okay. And I'm like thinking like, oh, I cannot go to bed. Like, I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down and go to bed. And I'm just thinking, no, I cannot go to bed. I have this commitment, I have to stick with this. That's the promise I made to myself. And it was so bad that as I was writing my email, I was totally like, when I came to a little bit more, I was totally writing about trading in my email. That's how freaking tired I was. And I was like, I was like, no, I gotta wake up, literally. And so I deleted it. I was like, took a couple breaths, stood up for a little bit, sat back down, started writing an email. I didn't even want to look at the email the next day to see what actually got sent out because I was so tired. It wasn't that bad. I saw a couple of mistakes I made. I kept it sure I saw a couple of mistakes in there, but I didn't talk about trading because people probably would have been like, what the heck? I literally had in there, price was good until it wasn't. And when I came to and read it, I was like, what the, it was real crazy. And I was showing my one of my trading friends that and telling him to stop sending me signals. so I won't wake up in the middle of the night. But I guess that commitment to myself is something that really helped me move forward. And knowing that, if I could just take these action steps every day, I'll be good to go. And then knowing my history, and it's the same for, most people, because we're conditioned to certain things. Knowing my history, one day is going to start with 2 days, and then it's going to be a week, and then it's going to be a month. And then 3 months later, I'm going to be like, well, dang, I was doing 30-minute workday. It was going well, but I stopped doing it. And, you just got to stay consistent. A lot of times we already know what to do. It's just doing it, and, that was one of my nights that I struggled. And another thing I struggled with was getting the printer together um, to print off my book. I was excited about that because I love, reading a book with paper. And literally was going through the printer process, and I felt like I fell off the face of the earth because it's all on apps now. Like, you set up the printer, and I'm trying to, set it up on my computer, set it up on the phone, and it's not working. And it's just like business too. Sometimes you get stuck and you want to quit and not continue, but all you had to do is get up the next day, try again until it works. I finally got a stupid printer to work, but just stay consistent. Focus on your why. Like Bob was saying, like, you got to focus on your retirement. I don't care what age you are, you got to focus on your retirement because no one is going to be there for you. No one's going to be there for you in the way that you need them or the way that you want them to. Like, you may have people that will be there for you, but do you really want to put that on somebody? You really want to burden other people with things that you may need help with. So now is the time to prepare, for our future.
That Social Security check don't go far. What I've seen with other people.
I think that's pretty cool too. That part of what keeps it going for you is that it's really easy, because I think that's a big part of this system. Is it's so much simpler than most of the people try to tell you that it needs to be. Like I set up my blog a month ago, and I've still not even done a blog post because it's not something that I like to do. And so, what I did is I just pretty much have decided I'm just not going to blog. It's not something I like to do. It's not something I'm going to do. So now, will I get to it eventually? Maybe I will, but I'm not concerned about it. So it's not something that holds me down now I feel like I'm falling behind because it's just not something I do. And I just noticed that Amy was on there. How's it going, Amy? How's it going, Dan? I liked how Amy, and I said this last week too, I liked how Amy pointed out that there's a lot of ways to go about doing this business. So you can pick the ones that you can be consistent at, the ones that speak power to you, the ones that that you can do on a daily basis. Because consistency, I think we all struggle with consistency. And I think that that's something that really, I think that pulls us into ruts a lot, because if we're not consistent, then we start to stop seeing results, and then it kind of snowballs together, and then we're less consistent. And the next thing you know, we just stop altogether because we broke that pattern. So, and Robin mentioned a couple of times that there's just a couple of daily actions, and I wanted to share those because that's really all there is to building any business, whether you're in 30-minute workday or not with us. And there is a button down below the video. We're starting to come up towards the end of the hour here. That button down there is coded to whoever sent you here on their list, and you can get a little more information and see the join page. And it's free to join the 30-minute workday and get this training and then learn how to do these steps. But I'm going to share my screen and show you these steps, because I really like the daily action steps, because to me, this is business. This is business for a farm. This is business for a rock star. This is business for just about anything. Build your audience. Daily action number 1, build your audience. The way we do this is through paid advertising. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. You could do this by blogging. It's not really our primary method in this particular business. Mostly our primary method is what I like to call unskilled traffic, or just unskilled advertising. You just buy it and it comes to your page. So that's how we build an audience. And then of course we use tools to build our list, like a musician would. You got to build a list. You got to build a following. Garth Brooks, he's got fans, right? That's what this is. Your list is your fans. So that's it. Every business there is has to build a list. And step number 2, daily action number 2, is build your knowledge. So all you have to do is learn something, do something, take what you know. Bob knows a lot about farming. So he could write about farming, and he said he does. He writes about his day out on the farm. Robin knows a lot about admin in the Army or in the military. She's not in the Army, but I was in the Army. So, but she knows a lot about the military, so she can write about that kind of stuff. That's your knowledge, and that's in the book that we've been talking about a lot. We'll talk about how you should pull from the things you know at least first. Christy, my wife that Bob mentioned, Christy is a baker, so she does a lot of stuff in the bakery. So she's got a whole website built around baking and teaching other bakers, and so she's just using her known stuff as her knowledge. Now, if you don't really have something that you're knowledgeable about, like the book talks about, go to the stuff that you're normally YouTubing, and that's the stuff that you should build your knowledge around. The stuff that that is in your downtime already. So you're not spending time doing it. You're already doing it. Now you're just going to share it with others. So that's your building your knowledge. And then the third daily action step is build your income by sending a single email daily. And that's what Bob talked about a lot is, at the end of his 12, 13, 15-hour day, whatever it is, you come in, you jam out one email and you press send. You talk about something that happened in your day. There's reading here to show you exactly what to talk about, how to format it, and how to do it mostly. So that's your business. That's your business. All there is to it is those 3 daily action steps. So it makes it super simple. And if you're doing it through paid advertising, like we primarily do, I set up my paid advertising 3 months ago, and I don't even look at it anymore. So even, building my list just happens. I get an email that says, hey, your next one's starting. Do you want to switch your list around or whatever? And that's it. So I don't even spend any time on that once it's all set up. And then I'm going to show some setup steps here in a minute. Anybody got anything they want to add on to that as we transition?
Yeah, Jim, I'd like to say something about like what you said about the traffic. That's a huge thing for me because I don't have a lot of time, and we all know that now. I work a lot of hours. It's easy for me to go in there, and there's traffic prices that's comparable for everybody. You don't have to go big or nothing. I like Jim. I set one, where it's coming in and everything. That way I don't have to worry about it. And, within less than 60 days, I got 100 got 100 leads in the matter of 7 days this week. And that puts me up, you was on there, Jim, it was about 200. I think it put me over 330, I think is what I got in there right now, in 6 weeks. And I'll tell you, it's one of the most satisfying and most funnest things when you wake up and go back in there at your email and says, you've got 5 leads, you got 16 leads, you got 7, and bam, 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 they all go down there. And then the second funnest thing is you don't have to do nothing for 4 days, guys, because they're going right to your get response. And if you set it up right, and Jim's helping me with that too, you set it up right, you've got the 4 first emails already written for you by an expert, which Nick, and they go out, and then bam, after that, you send your one email. And the time that I have during the day, good Lord, if I could do it with what I'm saying here at 12 to 16 hour days, I'm telling you, I don't think anybody on this call tonight could not do what I do. And I do my emails about 15 minutes. The first one, working with Jim, it took me about an hour to do it. So I'm not brain dead when it comes to, like Jim said, talking and knowing what to write. It just comes to you because, like we talked one time, me and Jim, you just going down to going down Starbucks and getting you a cup of coffee. You run into a friend or you run into somebody, and then I talked about it. Running into a friend, he said, "What you're doing? What are you doing now?" Well, I'm still farming, but I got into a little side gig online, and stuff. And he said, "Well, send me that." Like Jim said, I don't. He never did sign up, okay, but I sent him the link and everything. But I'm to the place now. I'm like him. I don't really care because I go back to the same thing of like-minded people. I want to work with like-minded people that's on this call. I mean, Robin, Jim, all of us, Sarah, my sister, only family member I got, and we got a large family. Only family member, but Sarah's a like-minded person like I am. She's she's always seen our mom and dad work hard, you know, and she works for U.S. government, matter of fact, and she wants to have something for her and her husband when she retires, you know, and stuff. So she sees this, and she's been in a couple little programs with me. But I wanted to touch on one thing that Robin said. This program, easy. I've been in a lot of programs, and they throw you around here and there. You don't know where to go on a lot of programs. I'm telling you, phase 1, I've not even started in phase 2 yet because I haven't had time. But that phase 1, get through that and get you some success coming in. I'm telling you, when you see that hot diggity dog or whatever they say to you, you know, I don't even know what it says now, but I just know when it comes in my email, that's a sale. That's a $20 sale. I got 2 turned into, I got 4 sales in less than 60 days, and they're all $425 sales. So what is that? That's $500 a month. My gosh, you guys, that could change a lot of people's lives out here today, especially in what we're going through. I mean, if you could help somebody make $500, $250, that's a car payment. That's food on the table. And where I come from, that meant a lot to put that food on the table. All we had was shelter, food, and the clothes on our back. And we was looking to the next day to do the same. I don't want that anymore in my life. So that's why I'm doing something about it. You just got to, like Robin says, you just got to be consistent. And Jim, the traffic. I say the traffic is the most consistent thing you can do to me, and write that email. If you haven't got a lot of time right now this winter, I'm going to have a lot of time. So I'm going to dive into a lot with Jim on the phase 2 and stuff, because there's a funnel. There's a little business funnel I want to build, you know, and I want to get into that. I do. I go to the HBA Premium. They have a mastermind. I really love that, because boy, you can really learn a lot of technical still. I know Jim's in it, and Robin and Amy is in it. I know we got a lot of people in it, but I'm telling you, that premium that they got is out of this world with with Mike and Paul doing what they do. I've learned so much, you know, but to me, it's easy on a work day that I put in. Anybody can do it.
And you know, you mentioned the advertising, and that's how that you get leads. And leads, if nobody knows, is people once they come to your website, kind of like coming to your store or coming to your farm. You know, they basically give you their information. And I think a lot of people don't realize when they come into home-based businesses that businesses require advertising. Your farm, right? At least at some point, you advertise. Maybe you don't anymore. You know, you're well established, so maybe you don't. But at some point, you most likely, I mean, almost every business I ever heard of has run some kind of advertising.
We have to advertise. We have to advertise for help, Jim, right now, because
right?
Nobody wants to do it. We advertise for help. That's advertising to me. It's money you got to spend to run your business. That's the way I look at these leads.
Right. Right. And you got to either do that by going and talking to people, you know, a bunch a day, or start getting people coming into your business by automation. And that's what our leads is automation. All right, let me see.
What I like about the leads also, Jim, is I keep going back to the same thing. These leads that you get in here are wanting to do something at home-based business. They're putting their name out there for a home-based business. So to me, that turns around what I said. That's a like-minded person, like me, like you, like Robin, like Amy, like people like that. That's in business that they're wanting to help. They want us to help them, show them something. And that's exciting more than it is family, friends, and stuff like that. Because a lot of times they just, I don't want that to do with that. And it kind of gets you discouraged. That's what I want to tell people too. Don't get discouraged with this. There's so much help in the chat. Jim, you're in there all the time. I got my mobile, you know, on the tractor, and you are talking to people. You are helping people. Sarah's on, she's got a mute off, but there's so much help in this that you can't get discouraged on it, because if you reach out, but guys and gals, you got to reach out. If you don't reach out, nobody here is going to know what you're going through and stuff. And I'm telling you, I've seen Jim take on a lot of questions and stuff that I'm learning just a lot being on the chat. And if you get in this, you got to get on the chat because you'll learn so much on the chat just reading everybody. You don't have to say nothing or nothing. You just read everybody because there's a lot of people going through the same things we all went through or going through that will help, that's already went through it and say, hey, I know how to do that. Here, that's just simple, logging in. They had some logging in issues today. And, Nick was first on the bat, fixing those issues, and everybody was getting kind of touchy, can't log in, I can't do this, well, just, I've heard Louis say it before, take a step back, get you a cup of coffee, and just wait a little bit, and then go back to it. Now, I was getting frustrated for a little bit when I first got into it, but me, myself, I delved right into it, and I got set up within about 24 hours, and I had emails going out my first 48 hours. And guess what? I didn't know how I couldn't get my get response set up to save my soul. And I thought to myself, I started getting leads in, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got leads. And it's exciting to me when I see leads, and building everything, because I know you're building a list. And Nick's talked about 10,000 on his list and stuff like that. You'll get there if you keep doing it consistently, like Robin said, this consistent business building techniques. But that's when I started reaching out to Louis. I'd seen him on Amy's live, and I thought, well, this guy must know pretty good. Well, when I got a hold of Louis said, hey, I'm not a tech guy, but I know a guy that'll help you and everything. That's when I got with Jim. And that's when Get Response started making more sense. And now I'll tell you about Jim on Get Response. That Get Response, I had the new version. Jim has an old one. And I didn't know nothing. And he got on there and he said, well, I can see what you're talking about. This don't look like mine. But I'm going to tell you something. I said, why don't you just take over my computer for a few minutes to see what you can do? And he did that. I mean, and when he was going through it, I told you all that I was a visual person. I was watching every step he made and everything he done. And Jim's also good about going back and saying, okay, let's go through. We went through the contact steps, and getting your contacts and stuff, and then sending them to your list, moving them to your list. We went through that thing 3 times. Now I wrote it down. Now I don't even have to look at it, but Jim was real good about going back and showing me 2 or 3 times. Very patient. I really appreciate the patience that Jim has. But I'm going to tell you something. If you just be consistent, like Robin said, I really like that word, consistent, on getting leads and doing your one email, and then go to Starbucks the rest of the day if you want, or do whatever you want to do. You'll come back, and eventually, like I said, it didn't happen overnight for me. I mean, I'll tell you what, my 3rd day I got a sale, and I'll tell you, talk about exciting. That was exciting. I didn't even know what to say to him, so, but, I put a little welcome letter together and sent him, said, hey, I farm for a living in Central Indiana, I just told him about myself, and she come back and said, hey, what she said, she was shocked that somebody even reached out to her to send her information like that and tell you all about it. She sent me back, hey, I live at home. My husband at work. We got 3 kids. And she told me about herself, and it was a connection. And I like that. I like people connect. Now I got one on my list I can't get a hold of. He don't get a hold of me, but Jim told me that one night, and I like that you can't worry about that, you guys. I mean, he's paying, and evidently he might be doing something. I don't know, because he don't get a hold of me, but you got to move on, and you got to help somebody that wants help. It's an easy program if you just stay with them steps.
Robin, I'm going to share my screen real quick. If you want to share, go. I mean, if you want to speak a minute, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're there.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready to go? You can go.
Okay.
If you're ready.
If
you need me to share, I'll share.
No, Bob's just been taking all the mic time, so I just wanted to make sure we didn't leave you behind there.
I love. We should have told people he was coming out, and it was going to be him. It was. I loved it all. It was good. I'm pumped.
I do like to show a little bit of the system while we're in here, and we've gone a little long, but I want to show a couple of little things at least Bob talked about the chat, and the chat's super easy to get to. As soon as you log in, you press that button down below this video and you get logged into the 30-minute workday. And remember, the 30-minute workday is completely free. You can sign up, you can get in here, get all this training, download the book in phase 2. And when you first log in, you're going to come here to the dashboard and you're going to see the button to get on. There's a video here you should watch. Tells you a little bit about the system. Nick will talk and tell you, why we're here, what's going on, how this all got designed and set up, and for what reasons, why it was important to him. And then connect here to the community. And the community is the chat that Bob's talking about. And we're in this chat quite a bit. I'm in here, like Bob said, I'm in here all the time. I enjoy it. I just really like looking for people, like Bob said, that are like-minded, that are looking to improve their life. And that's what people are doing in here. They're talking about whatever's going wrong for them, whatever's going right for them. They talked about how they got sales today. They talked about, this guy's talking about he's got leads. So this is a great place not only to get help, but also to get inspiration from others. I put stuff in here sometimes that's pretty specific to training things, but there's all kinds of different things in here. And I try to do a morning post, basically. I kind of use this like a blog, to be honest, and put a early morning help you chat in here to get it started in the first thing in the morning. And then that way that people can have some content in the morning to kind of bounce back off of. And then somebody just asked me, where's the 8 o'clock meeting on Thursday? So I messaged him that real quick. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is the chat. And, there's 1,200 of us in here that are sharing stuff. And so this is a really important part of the system. I think this is the backbone to me. This is where you can get instant training to get quick help with specific, precise points that you're kind of hooked up on, that you're caught up on, hung up on, whatever you want to call that. So that's the chat. And then the book that we talk about a lot is here in phase 2. And I like to show that too, because between phase 1 and phase 2, that's where most of the work is going on inside of the 30-minute workday. So getting into phase 2 and getting the book as quick as you can, and you can do that right here on the invisible step is where the first section is to download it. Right here, you can open up the book. It just opens right up in a PDF. It's 183 pages of, extraordinarily packed awesomeness, right, Robin? It is crazy how much. There's 20 years of information in here in 183 pages. 20 years of solid business. Everything's included in here. There's a picture in there that shows.
Book.
Say again, Robin?
I said a $15,000 book. For free.
Right, at least. Right, like Louis talks about, how many millions have been made from this book already, just from getting people started, So the book's really important. The invisible step is great. And then to really get started on the backbone of the system, to get it all set up, you come right in here to phase 1, go to your 7-figure sales funnel. You just click on the phase 1 button, it'll load right up in here. And like Bob said, you got green buttons for every step of the way. So you watch the video. When you're done with the video, if there's nothing to fill in, then you just click the green button. See what the steps are that says here. But most of them will, if there's anything really pertinent, there'll be something to fill in there. And then click to the next step. And then I wanted to go down a couple of steps and show another hanging up point that I see people getting caught up by, which is this one here, you maximize your income. People get here and they get a little bit stuck. There's some new verbiage down here that says if you've already maximized or you just want to continue setting up, just click the no thanks link above. So there's no green button here because there's a choice. So you got to decide whether you want to or don't want to. So the green button doesn't quite make the same point there. And then something else that I noticed too that I find people getting hung up on is once you get your income tools, so we'll go back up a little bit. Once you get your income tools and you have the funnel builder that we've talked so much about, the funnel builder will they'll send you some more information. And when they do that, oops, I didn't mean to log out of that page. When they do that, they're going to end up getting you over here to the Funnel Builders Academy. I like to tell everybody, kind of leave this alone for right now. This is a little bit advanced stuff. Don't dismiss it. It's really good information. But as soon as you get your funnel builder, get back into the steps of phase one, and then get your phase one all set up. And then once your phase one is all set up and you've pushed your traffic button to start getting traffic, and you do that here, get your traffic, and you'll see your traffic buttons. Once you get through all of this and your traffic starts coming in, then you can go back over to the Funnel Builder Academy and you can start learning all of these other steps. You can do all of phase one without anything in here specifically. Now, if you want to do a domain name, I think he might lead you back over here to learn how to do your domain name. But other than that, there's nothing in here that you really need for the 30-minute workday until you start going through phase two, which is a little bit down the road still. In phase two and the Create Unlimited, there'll be some more stuff that you can use the Funnel Builder Academy for. But those are some of the spots that I really wanted to highlight, because that's the things that I see people getting a little stuck with lately. Just follow the videos. Follow the videos as closely as you can. Remember, stuff on the internet changes really fast. So maybe sometimes you got to use a little bit of imagination as you go through the videos. If something doesn't quite look exactly the same, look for the words to be the same. A lot of times the words don't change, but the graphics, the imagery might change a little bit. So that's my recommendation on that. Let me see, is there anything else I really need to point out? I don't want to go too much longer because an hour is a long time for everybody as it is. Any final thoughts, anybody?
Yeah, Jim, I just want to say on the book, it's a fantastic book. I got a private email that I messaged when I first started seeing it, and Nick reached out to me. I started talking to him in my private email, which I've done many times. And he said, all you got to do is get in, Bob, and go through phase one. And he said, but read the book. Read this book that I made and everything. Where kind of I come from, and I know a lot of his background and stuff because I've been there with him a lot and seen him go through the same things he talks about in the book. Well, then I said, okay, I'm jumping in. And he said, I said, what about the book? He said, go ahead and read the book. He said, read that thing 3 or 4 times. And I thought, good Lord, I ain't going to read that no book 3 or 4 times, 180 pages. I mean, that's what I was thinking, and it stuck in my head. And I went ahead and jumped in, got through phase one and stuff. And I thought, well, I ought to read that book, and just take my time at this and see what this is going to do and see if it's going to work. Well, when I read that book, I got in bed at 1:30 that morning, which I had to get up at 5. And but I'll tell you what, that book is so inspirational and so exciting and so informative that you can't put it down. And I was like Robin, I went ahead and copied it off because I wanted to take it with me in the tractor. I didn't read it that day because I had too much going on in the tractor. Buzzers going on. But anyway, I come home and started reading again. I'm about 30, 40 pages in on it. But I'm reading it again. And I see why he says read it again, because I've already went through 30 pages of it. And I picked it up again, tidbits and stuff that I kind of read it fast, And I probably will read it the 3rd time, if not the 4th time this winter, and stuff. But I say read that book. That book is a whole backbone of what he's got for us here and where it was. And he's put, like you said, 20 years of his knowledge. And Nick tells you, he's lost a lot of money online, but he's made a lot of money. And I've always looked at a person that if they can lose all the money in the world and go right back and start making it all back all over again. Because I've been in businesses, conventional businesses. It's hard. We talked about the McDonald's and stuff like that, Jim, last time he's on. It's very hard to keep going in a business and stuff, But a person that can do that, we need to listen to that. We need to listen to him because he's been where we was. I know where he started from when he started and stuff. And I know where he was at a pinnacle. And then all of a sudden I knew where he was again, back down, and now he's back up again. He's built it over and over again. And so if he can do it, why can't we? I mean, that's the way I look at these things. It's not hard And the chat, I've really got a lot out of the chat. I keep going back to chat. You know, I say tonight, Facebookers, stay off Facebook. Go on this chat. My wife come in here the other night. She goes, is that a new version of Facebook? And I said, yeah, it's a 30-minute workday Facebook. That's what I call it now.
That's cool.
Because I'm not kidding you. That, to me, there's so much negativity out there in the world today. And there has been all over the place, you know, ever since I was born, you know, there's been negativity. And I'm not a negative person. I'm a positive person. I always tell people, if I start talking to somebody and they start talking about me, oh my, oh what, I pretty much kind of try to get out of the conversation and start going somewhere else, you know, because it pulls you down. It pulls a positive person down if you're with a couple negative people or one negative person. So get out of the way and get them out of the way and get back on track, be consistent, like Robin says, and just do this thing. I mean, push the green buttons step by step and stay on course. And I'm telling you, where I come from, when we was growing up, and I'm a little bit older now, you know, and stuff, but so the price is going to tell you how old I am. We could not even go down to a country store and buy a 20-cent candy bar. I didn't know what a candy bar was until I got in high school, until somebody gave me one, because my mom and dad didn't have the money to buy candy bars. I don't know if you guys ever done it. I grew up where my mom put raw popcorn. We raised some popcorn before. She put raw popcorn in a pan and shake it. Like, you know, I always told her, I told my mom, I said, you could have been the one that invented the Jiffy Pop. You know, the old Jiffy Pop, you know, little thing there, you know, but she put it on a burner stove, a gas stove, and shake it until it popped, and pour it in a big brown paper sack and pour butter all over it, which was the best popcorn it was, and I still think it's best. But what I'm saying is, she made loaves of bread. We killed our own beef and chickens and hogs and stuff on the farm to eat. I mean, we done everything just to try to get by to the next day. And I see so many people, I don't do it anymore because I worked hard not to, but I see so many people living paycheck to paycheck. I just talked to a guy the other day and told him something about it. He said, well, I don't think I'm going to have the money this week to do something like that. And I told him the same thing a guy told me. And I remembered, and I told Jim when I was standing over a buddy of mine's casket, I remember him telling me that, because I was telling him one day that I was going to do this, I was going to do that, and I was going to do this in the world. I was going to have me a Corvette, I was going to have me a Harley, which I did, which I got finally, because I stayed focused. I focused on what I wanted and stayed focused on my goals. But he told me one time when I was a pallbearer at his funeral, and I was sitting there thinking about what he told me, about 5 years prior to that. And I was telling him all that. He said, okay. He said, are you going to do it? And I said, oh, I don't know. I got to do this. He said, Bob, he said, if not now, when? It was just a simple little verse. I put it in one of my emails. If not now, when? If you're not going to do it now, and you're going to keep talking about maybe you're going to make some money online or do this and everything, when? When you got to ask yourself. I mean, I'm asking that's what I asked myself when Nick got a hold of me. When is this going to be the right one? Is this the one going to propel me to make my goals come and make my dreams come true, you know, and stuff? So that's really what pushed me to do this program and stuff, especially when Nick says, all you have to do, Bob, is just send one email. And I said, oh my gosh, right. I've heard this before. One thing, that's all you got to do. Well, there's a couple of things you got to do is get traffic, but actually after you get it set up, it's one email. And like I said, he's an ethical guy, and he tells it from the start. Anything he tells you, that's exactly all you got to do. We didn't have money to do nothing when I grew up. Sarah's on there now. She could back me up. We did not have money to do nothing. We would be the kids that my mom patched our jeans when we went to school. And other kids wouldn't make fun of us because they'd have, you know, good clothes. And I make fun of some things now because they always said we didn't have Nikes back then. We had Converse. Remember the old Converse? we didn't have Converse. My mom would go, there's 3 of us boys and 3 girls, so we all played basketball. My mom would go to Walmart and look for, or Kmart. We didn't have Walmart. We had the Kmart, and she would look for the blue light special going around on the shoe aisle. And we would get 2 for $5. Tennis shoes to play ball in, and the people and the guys that we was playing ball against, they'd laugh at our shoes and stuff. And I thought, man, them's brand new shoes. What are you laughing at? Man, I got a brand new pair of shoes. We didn't get them very much. And now everybody talks about these Converse. I seen a kid wearing a pair the other day, high top Converse. I said, where'd you get those? He said, hey, these are Converse. I said, yeah, I know what they are. I said, them things was way back when I was growing up, and stuff. And I said, I'm just telling people right now that don't tell me you don't have the money to do it, because my uncle, he was 93 when he passed away. He told me one time, I told him I wanted to get in business when I was 29 years old, which I did. I set that goal, and I got in business when I was 29, conventional business, construction. And he told me one time, he said, people find the money to do what they really want to do. There are people going to go on vacation this year, and they're going to have the money. I'll guarantee you, they're going to have the money to go on vacation. So this don't take a lot of money, you guys. This don't take no money to get in and learn. This thing's free. Boy, you could just get in and learn everything. And then all of a sudden, if you get in to do that, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to find the money because this is going to work. But I just tell people consistency. I'll really go back to Robin. Consistency, get your traffic, email, make your money. That's all I got.
The end. Go ahead, Bob.
The thing I don't get over there, Robin.
You need to come out more often. You have some good stories, though. You do.
But I appreciate
I hope you're done, Jim.
Having me on. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, because Bob just dropped the mic.
Sarah, you got any questions or anything that you needed to talk about while you were here? Any tech questions or anything? I got you muted again if you wanted to come out and talk. All right. Yeah, so that's about it, I think, tonight, guys. I think Bob killed it.
Just talking from the heart, Jim. I just talk from the heart.
I love you, Bob. You're good. You're good people. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. If anybody's here wants to click that button down below, you can go check out some more information. If you want to leave some comments down below and ask some questions, I at least do go back and check these questions over the week. So you definitely can come in here and get any questions you got answered. And we'll see you next week. All right.
All right.
Have a good
night.
Thank you, Jim.
Have a good night.